You know that feeling when you skip a meal and something shifts inside you. Most people think hunger is just physical discomfort. Actually, it's your mind learning to observe itself. And when your mind learns to observe, old patterns start to lose their grip. Here's what I've noticed through years of practice. There are 4 ways to use this ancient tool of fasting. Each one teaches you something different about yourself. If this resonates with you, join our community. Subscribe to walk this path together. The first approach combines fasting with deep reflection and gratitude. Think about what happens when you sit with hunger instead of running from it. Your mind wants to react. It wants to fix, to fill, to escape. But you don't. You breathe. You stay present. You ask yourself honest questions. This is when old mental patterns start to surface. The anxiety you've carried for years. The anger that shows up in small moments. The restlessness you usually cover with food, work, or entertainment. Ancient wisdom teaches us that these patterns are like weeds. You can trim the leaves all you want, but until you see the root system, nothing really changes. When you fast with intention, sitting quietly with your thoughts, something beautiful happens. You start to see the roots. That constant worry. It's not about your job. It's about control. That irritation with others. It's usually frustration with yourself. The mind shows you its tricks when you stop feeding it constantly. Nature demonstrates this perfectly. A tree doesn't grow stronger by always having water. Sometimes the dry season forces roots to go deeper. Your mind works the same way. When you create space through fasting, real insight can finally emerge. The second approach focuses on appreciation and joy during your fast. Most people make fasting heavy and serious. They think suffering equals progress. But here's what I've observed. Gratitude during hunger creates something powerful in your awareness. Try this. When your stomach rumbles, instead of counting hours until your next meal, notice 3 things you're grateful for. Feel the appreciation in your body. Not just thinking it, actually feeling it. Your shoulders relax. Your breathing deepens. Suddenly hunger becomes a reminder to appreciate, not a problem to solve. This transforms your relationship with discomfort. Discomfort stops being the enemy. It becomes a teacher, a gentle nudge to return to gratitude, to return to presence. Life shows us this truth everywhere. The most beautiful flowers often grow in the harshest conditions. They don't fight the difficulty. They find ways to bloom within it. When you fast with appreciation, you learn to bloom within discomfort. The third type involves stepping back from everything that pulls your attention outward. This isn't just about food anymore. It's about all the ways you feed restlessness. Maybe it's endless scrolling on your phone. Maybe it's always having music or TV in the background. Maybe it's staying constantly busy, so you never have to sit with yourself. Here's what happens when you fast from these distractions. At first, your mind goes crazy. It's been used to constant stimulation, constant escape routes. Now there's nowhere to run. This is exactly where growth begins. Think of it like cleaning out a cluttered room. You can't see what's really there until you remove all the excess stuff. Your mind is the same way. All that mental noise makes it impossible to hear your own inner wisdom. Even small withdrawals create clarity. One day without social media, one evening without entertainment. Just you, your thoughts, and some quiet space. You start to notice patterns you never saw before. How often you reach for distractions. How uncomfortable you are with stillness. How much you've been avoiding your own company. The fourth approach uses fasting to develop deeper awareness of what's really happening in your life. This is about seeing clearly. Most of the time, we're looking at our problems from the surface level. We see the symptoms, not the source. Observe this carefully. When you're well, fed and comfortable, it's easy to ignore uncomfortable truths about yourself. But when you're fasting, sitting quietly, your defenses are down. Reality becomes clearer. Say you've been stressed about work for months. During a mindful fast, you might realize it's not really about work. It's about feeling undervalued. Or maybe you've been having conflicts with someone close to you. In that clear, hungry state, You might see your own role in creating the tension. This type of awareness requires courage. It's easier to stay distracted, to blame external circumstances. But when you create space through fasting, truth has room to emerge, not harsh judgment of yourself, just honest seeing, like looking in a clear mirror for the first time. Sometimes the insights come immediately. Sometimes they unfold over days or weeks. You can't force revelation. You can only create the right conditions and remain patient. When you understand these 4 approaches, something shifts in how you relate to challenges. You stop seeing difficult emotions as problems to fix immediately. You start seeing them as information to observe carefully. Your mind will resist this practice at first. It's comfortable with its old patterns, comfortable with constant stimulation and instant gratification. But each time you choose awareness over avoidance, you're building inner strength. The hunger you feel is temporary. The clarity you gain lasts much longer. Remember, fasting without mindfulness is just being hungry. Fasting without gratitude is just restriction. Fasting without stepping back from distractions is just another rule. Fasting without seeking deeper awareness is just discomfort for its own sake. But when you bring presence to the practice, when you approach it with curiosity rather than force, something profound unfolds. You start to trust your own wisdom. You stop looking outside yourself for all the answers. Take your time with this. Start small. 1 mindful meal skip, 1 morning of quiet reflection. Small steps, consistent effort. Your inner wisdom is already there. You're just learning to listen. If you're ready to continue this journey of inner clarity, subscribe. This is just the beginning.